Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside LaSalle College High School. It is the site of a big-time Philadelphia Catholic League basketball matchup as the home explorers of LaSalle take on West Catholic, one of the darlings of the Catholic League this year, and one of the teams that thinks, hey, we got every shot to get back to the Palestra, this time take home the hubcap, and of course state championship hopes for Coach Boak and his team as well. Let's bring you now inside our broadcast booth. Bob Long, he's Dan Green, he is Danny Rovey. And guys, boy, when you have an opportunity to watch a team like West Catholic, you don't give that up. This is a team that has length across the board, a fantastic guard who is kind of the orchestrator and the backcourt, and then length with Zion Stanford, Shamar Wilbanks, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to see a team here that provides length and athleticism that'll rival anybody in the Philadelphia area, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that may be one of the keys to the game for LaSalle. Getting a body on every single guy on the glass, you know, in terms of height and weight and just, you know, a little bit of athleticism too. They're at a little bit of a disadvantage, so it's very important to stay locked in on defense and do the little things today to give themselves a chance.
That's a great point. And Danny, you talk little things. When we were at Bonner Prendergast on Friday, LaSalle lost a heartbreaker, but what they did so well defensively was that fundamentals. They stayed in a 3-2 zone, forced long, deliberate possessions from the Friars of Bonner Prendergast, held them under 40. That's the good part. The tough part was the offensive output was tough to come by.
Yeah, of course, Bob. You know, touching on that, you know, we saw after halftime, it was two completely separate halves right there for LaSalle. I mean, you came into that game in a man-to-man. It wasn't working. You brought in the 3-2. Fantastic coaching decision there by head coach Mike McKee. You're able to close off a lot of the driving lanes on a big team like Bonner, and that may be a key to success for the Explorers here. They're playing against another big team here with the West Catholic Birds. That could be a huge key to success, and obviously for LaSalle on the offensive side of the ball, shoot, 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 baby.
Danny Rovey with us here, a junior at LaSalle College High School, an excellent student broadcaster. He'll be helping us out with camera here today. Bit of a skeleton crew, week 18 of the NFL, you know, you can understand. And he's Dan Green. We're going to meet the starting lineups from both teams when we get back.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
At Meineke, we care about your family. So this winter, let Meineke keep your car on the road, saving time and money. Take advantage of Meineke's complete auto repair services, whether it's tires, brakes, exhaust, or tune-ups. At Meineke, we do it all. And all services are backed by Meineke's nationwide guarantee. Whatever car repairs you need, come to Meineke, because at your locally owned and operated Meineke, we do car care right.
We welcome you back, folks, and it's time to meet the Explorers of LaSalle. A senior guard, James Barchak, had a really nice game, Danny, last game against Bonner Prendergast. A big three, couple nice drives to the basket, good in space and with the floater game.
Yeah, Barchak has a lot of confidence in the ball, and you really love to see that from a great shifty point guard.
Number 24 introduced next, Casey Fleming. He's been banged up for a couple of games. Really like his game. He has a little bit of range, a little bit of hidden length, if you will, and I think he's going to be a key coming back into the lineup. Ryan Warren, number 32. A lot is going to be asked of him here today, taking on the length of West Catholic. Ryan Sorge, a sharp shooter and a guy who can take it off the bounce, and then Horace Simmons Jr., the team's leading scorer, a Drexel University commit, and Dan Green, I know you remember seeing him last year, a really talented player in the front court.
Yeah, absolutely. Has a lot of athleticism and does have the ability to, mix it up in the mid-range as well as a little bit of the outside. I haven't gotten to see him play at all this year yet, but I'm assuming that he's improved that, and he's going to be counted upon a lot today.
Starters for West Catholic: Bud Clark, the 5'10" guard, as well as Zion Stanford, the 6'5" senior forward. MJ Branker, a senior. They lift him as a guard. He can play really from the front court. Certainly those types of roles, attack the glass. Isaac Cole, number 25 as well, and Shamar Wilbanks. West Catholic in black and LaSalle in white. We are underway. Bob Long, Dan Green, and Danny Rovey alongside. LaSalle comes right back out into that 3-2 zone that worked well, particularly in the second half against Bonner Prendergast. Held the Friars to just 13 second half points. West Catholic looking to shoot right out of it. And that's a dream start there. Cole puts it in.
Yeah, right away. Not afraid to shoot out of the zone. That's definitely going to be a key if they want to get them to, maybe play LaSalle to play man or another defense.
And a 10-second violation. Casey Fleming picked up his dribble in the backcourt, and Ryan Warren was the only one nearby. West Catholic, this is what they do. They play a high pace. Coach Boak has done an unbelievable job here at West Catholic in recent years. They're going to play very physical as well, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And look to them to crash the glass, too, while LaSalle is in this zone.
Zion Stanford passes out of a double team. A corner three is no good. Now a chance for LaSalle. Perhaps they had just a moment to get in transition, but they'll set up in the half court.
You know, adding on to that, Bob, LaSalle played a really physical game against Monsignor Bonner the last game on Friday night. And, you know, I would not be surprised if they met with a similar level of physicality tonight here.
I had the opportunity to broadcast West Catholic against Reading earlier in the year at the Diane Moscow Foundation shootout, and that was as physical a game of basketball as you'll see at any level of the sport.
Of course, I mean, both programs are ran by phenomenal coaches, and they have some of the best talent Pennsylvania has to offer.
Horace Simmons Jr. finds Warren, couldn't get two hands on it. Transition, here's Branker leading the way. And Bud Clark, that was a good pass, just couldn't quite come up with it.
Yeah, and you can see West Catholic on defense already that they are really containing, just waiting for LaSalle to make that risky pass, just as they just did. And came away with a turnover, even though they couldn't convert.
And a giveaway, Bud Clark. He took a big hit from Ryan Warren, but ended up being the ball handler for LaSalle that lost the ball.
That's one thing about these Explorers. They've been met with a lot of full court pressure early on in a lot of their games this year.
Well, you have to show this opposition. Everybody's got film on everyone. Everyone has the huddle film, and until you show you can break it, it's going to come at you. Warren wants the basketball. Good strong catch in there.
Really nice post-entry pass. Warren had position down there, and he was able to deliver it. That was a very nice pass.
Yeah, another look there as he seals that defender. Took a little chance, did Stanford. 5:28 to play. First quarter action here on Bob Long Sports. West Catholic in the black and LaSalle in the white in this now 2-3 zone. Back screen opens up the three, and it's good. That's good off-ball action. Zion Stanford cashes it in.
Zion Stanford, the Temple commit.
And Dan Green, there's two ways that's going to stay with LaSalle. There's two ways to beat the zone, of course, and everyone will say, hey, penetrate to get to the middle, but you can run back screens and off-ball screens and down screens to create opportunities like that. And, of course, a sweet stroke from Stanford makes it look a lot better as well on the half court.
Absolutely, and honestly, if you're not communicating in this zone, it's going to be incredibly tough, especially if it's just one pass back screen shot.
Mick McKee just checked into the game for LaSalle for substitution. Fleming stepped on the sideline. A high pass from McKee made it difficult. 4:46 to play first quarter. It's 8-2. West Catholic suffered a heartbreaking loss on Friday, Danny. A one-point game against Newman Goretti, and everyone will talk about Bud Clark, who was fouled in the act of shooting down from three, missed the last free throw that essentially ended the game. But what Coach Boak will most likely talk about with his guys is the fact that they had a third quarter, a fourth quarter lead, actually led the majority of the day, and Newman Goretti hung in there and won the game. It's a Newman Goretti program that's won multiple state championships, a West Catholic program that has been revitalized in just an incredible and swift fashion. The next thing is, hey, learning how to win the big ones.
Of course, I think that for a lot of athletes, just in general, a game like that is more a learning experience than anything, Bob. And, for a player like Bud Clark, his talent is unmatched, and I think that he can use something like that to fuel him in a game like today. A must-win PCL game here for the Burrs, just as much as it is for the Explorers. And, he can be able to.
Really nice finish by Zion Stanford on the assist from Bud Clark. It's MJ Branker forcing the steal on the other end. That length, Dan Green, providing issues.
Yeah, that's going to be a real challenge for LaSalle today. Using screeners and being able to just keep moving on offense is been a challenge so far for them.
Warren wants it. He scored the only two for LaSalle from in the lane. Here's Mick McKee, son of head coach Mike McKee in his fifth year. Harchak well short on the three. LaSalle has numbers back. Doesn't matter to Shamar Wilbanks, who pulls up and couldn't hit it. Branker, a deep three. It's good. And West Catholic flexing the muscles early, less than 5 minutes into this contest.
West Catholic really just showcasing how they can score the ball in all areas of the court. Something they do very, very well.
No let up after the heartbreaking loss, as we mentioned. Nice floater. That's Mick McKee, the sophomore guard from the baseline.
Yeah, adding on to that, Bob, like I was saying before, I think that, someone obviously like Bud Clark, but furthermore, the entire team can use a loss like that to really fuel them.
McKee, a nice job defensively working through that screen. Stanford. Tough to guard that one.
Not much you're going to do there. It's a good creation off the dribble, and he was able to get the bucket. And honestly, you can live with shots like that.
Barchak. Simmons is wide open across the floor.
Good skip.
Barchak, strong move to the basket.
Really nice move, and you saw that skip pass there was really able to free the offense up, start to get the defense moving and able to get a nice floater there.
Yeah, it's one thing we've seen a lot. Barchak's a player, for his size, he really just is not afraid of the basket. He can take the contact, he can drive the lane, and he can put those shots up whenever you need him to.
Dribble drive, Stanford. Good skip pass to the corner, and they'll reset. 1:34 to play, first quarter. And they run the weave. Here's Cole. And a travel. It's good defense there by Barchak. We'll get one more look here. And I think one more pass right about there would have done Cole some good.
Yeah. I like the way LaSalle is locked in on defense these past few possessions. It's they're starting to get their rhythm a little bit and keeping guys in front instead of taking risks.
Again, to meet our broadcast team here today, Bob Long alongside me, Danny Rovey. Class of 2024 here at LaSalle. Horace Simmons, no good on the first. Got his own rebound, and he is fouled. He'll shoot 2 at the line. Simmons Jr. aggressive in the lane. I don't think he, liked that he missed the first one, but Dan Green able to stay in the midst of it, get a rebound over the trees, and create some contact.
Absolutely, and he is one of the tallest, longest guys on the floor, so he can use that today, at least a little bit of an advantage, and he was able to do that there.
And that's Dan Green, the third member of our broadcast crew, a guard back in the day at Abington Friends.
Long time ago, very long time ago. The more I play, pick up, that type of stuff, it feels longer and longer every time.
And, of course, one of your old assistants is now the head man, I believe, at Abington Friends. As long as they didn't make a coaching change, I wasn't aware of.
No, I don't think so. I would hope not. He's a good guy. I would hope they didn't take him out after just a year.
Dribbled. Well, it wouldn't have to be them. People make personal decisions and such.
Absolutely.
50 seconds left. Open three for Liam Hawley. It hit the rim twice, and there's Barchak. Garbage to gold.
A great follow-up right there. Barchak's a player that can will that.
And here come these Explorers, as we saw on Friday night. Down early, staying in at 15-10. No shot clock at the high school level, as most PA fans are well aware of. And so West Catholic, they could have waited instead.
Stay straight up there. That was a great defensive play.
That was Horace Simmons Jr. Now 13 seconds left. Here's Hawley off the bounce into traffic. That's a great look. McKee, it's well short. Down to the final second, and that'll come up well short. Well, after one quarter, West Catholic 15, LaSalle 10. After was 13-2 Burrs early in this one. This portion of today's game brought to you by CJO Design and Construction. CJO Design and Construction is run by Chad Ormond, a proud friend of the LaSalle football program, involved with the freshman team as well as with the video content. So that's how we met. Spent a lot of time up on the top of press box roofs, and told me a little bit about his landscaping company. My wife and I got him over to our house to do some work in the backyard, and we can tell you they do just a fantastic job. Very knowledgeable, some great, wonderful equipment, good availability to get out there and help you. And so if you are looking to do a hardscaping project, maybe even a pool, or to just do the mulch projects, trim the hedges, and overall beautify your lawn, the only place to go is CJO Design and Construction. And then we want to tell you about Jim McLaughlin and Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Check out the contact information on the graphic on your screen. They're our favorite realtors, and they help my wife and me buy our home. So we're thrilled to have them as friends and as colleagues. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, it's a difficult market, so you got to call Jim McLaughlin, Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Eight minutes on the clock here in the second quarter, and Bud Clark. He's got a reputation for doing just that, and Horace Simmons, well, he has a reputation for doing that as well, but that just a tick late goaltending the call.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to dribble through this pressure at West Catholic. You're really going to have to, I'm looking at their offense right now. The more you move, the more success you're going to have. If you're staying put in the half-court offense, it's not going to work well.
And now numbers. Hayes out to Mari, goes high off the window. How about the finish from Horace Simmons Jr.?
Great follow there.
Running the floor, Dan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to have those opportunities if they're able to make that pass, that key pass out of the pressure. Those opportunities are going to be more and more prevalent.
We've seen that a lot this season with a player like Horace Simmons. That wingspan is something remarkable, and he's able to use that to his advantage a lot in the paint.
Good defense inside. Stanford has to fade away, but just a sweet touch.
Again, not bad defense. I mean, he's taking a fadeaway, kind of, about 10 feet away from the basket. You can live with that if you're LaSalle.
Now that 10-second clock. Mike McKee calls a timeout. Timeout before the hand grenade pass went up there. The issue is you only have so many of those, and you got to get some of these getting it past the timeline situations right and quickly.
And they really haven't figured it out just yet. And, hopefully they can talk things over and figure out what to do here.
Of course, and of course it's a LaSalle thing, but it's also a West Catholic thing, right, Dan? I mean, there are not many teams this year that they've played or will play that are going to totally figure it out. Coach Boak does an amazing job with those guys. Of course, has a lot of talent to work with, and those havoc defenses from VCU of days past. That's what I think about when I look at this West Catholic team.
Absolutely, and they practice it all the time, probably in practice, and. They have their safeties and defensive backs ready to pounce on, those, as you said, like those grenade-type passes.
So the 5 is Mick McKee, Horace Simmons Jr., Liam Hawley, James Barchak, and Hayes out to Mari, who kept that one in the bounds.
Nice pass out of that.
And that one just had too much heat from Hawley, looking for Simmons Jr. Bud Clark. Hezzy dribble, and nice job by LaSalle. They're right back into that zone, forcing West Catholic into the half court. Corner 3 is no good. That foul goes against Hayes out to Mare, mixed up on the play with Amir Walker. We'll get another look. I think we'll get another look. I don't know if we're going to get there. We'll bring it back to live time as Stanford, and that's a travel. Stanford says, hey, I kept that pivot foot, demonstrably so.
Yeah. And that's definitely a debatable call right there. I mean, it does go up to the ref at the end of the day. I mean, you could argue that the pivot foot was placed. You could also argue that it was not.
Yeah, perhaps just a momentary slide.
Yep.
6 minutes left in this second quarter. Altamare, Hawley, and Simmons Jr., but MJ Branker How active has he been on the defensive end today?
Yeah, really nice aggressive play there. I actually thought there was a little bit of contact, maybe got away with a loose ball foul, but you know, it's always good to see one of your best players play aggressive on defense.
Dangerous pass. Hawley did a nice job to get it to Simmons Jr. Simmons Jr. has to get rid of it. MJ Branker saying, don't give me a double team, I'll take him myself. And so Horace Simmons says, okay. Good move to the bucket and an offhand finish. It's a 5-point contest.
Yeah, and I really like the way LaSalle is trying to get the ball into Horace almost every possession now. Before they were kind of passing it around the perimeter. They're using the inside now.
Tough matchup there for Liam Hawley. Zion Stanford.
Wow.
Yeah, Hawley's a player with a lot of scrap to him, but a player like that, I mean, it's just so hard to guard.
Got to say, there was a little bit of contact there. I thought maybe.
Hayes out to Mare. And now Bud Clark the other way for West Catholic. Hesitation dribble and good hands by James Barchak.
There you go.
Hawley. Ooh, and he was hit. Hit from behind on the play. He'll shoot 2 at the line. So walk me through on the other hand, on the other side, Dan Green, because I hear you there, right? Liam Hawley was pushed back. This is now good look at that. That's certainly a foul as the ball was poked away. But when Hawley was on the defensive end and Zion Stanford hit that floater, your thoughts on that one?
I mean, I kind of saw, the referee's position wasn't great there. And he did use, I thought, the ball and a little bit of his shoulder to take advantage of a smaller defender who, maybe the referee just thinks, oh, this offensive player is just stronger, and that's where the contact comes from.
And that's kind of where I fell on it myself, but I hear where you're coming from as well.
Yeah, I just thought there was a little bit of extension and it could have been something.
Absolutely. And hence why it's very difficult to officiate in the Philadelphia Catholic League.
Yeah, absolutely. I do not want that job.
Now West Catholic running the weave. Everybody gets a touch. Stanford, good look to the baseline. And good slide of the feet midway through there by Ryan Warren defensively.
This is a great defensive possession for LaSalle. Everybody is in. Everybody is in on this possession.
They're going to go at Hawley again. Stanford for 3. It's been his day so far, not that one.
And not a blue jersey in the paint there. That was good boxing out by the whole team there. It was great.
Really a treat to see when you see all those cuts off the ball and then that phenomenal defensive pressure. Basketball is all about.
Now LaSalle working it around, looking to get it inside to Ryan Warren. Catches at the free throw line. And the great hands again by West Catholic. A held ball, and it will be West Catholic basketball on the alternate possession. So tough, man, and we only see the tail end of that replay, but he had the undersized Clark, I believe, on him there. And that's tough to put the ball on the floor at that point, that far from the basket if you're a big.
For sure, but, I mean, I think the passes that they were making on that offensive possession, they had a mismatch. They were able to get West Catholic to switch, to the point where there was some size disadvantage.
Stanford against Casey Fleming, the sophomore. Stanford goes baseline. That's fantastic.
It's a great move.
You think of that as no man's land, that deep under the basket, and it is for most players. But Zion Stanford knew exactly where he wanted to go. LaSalle fortunate not to turn it over. Barchak, a good look from the elbow.
Hey, touching on that last possession there, one thing about Zion Stanford is that he can move like that all throughout the court. That level of confidence is carried everywhere.
And a travel. 2:44 to play, second quarter. And Danny Rovey, this LaSalle team has taken the gut punch from West Catholic and stayed in it possession for possession.
Yeah, exactly. I think that getting out to that West Catholic early lead when it was 15-4, I feel like that was a bit of a reality check for LaSalle. They had to get their defensive screws tightened, and to which they did, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Yet another steal. Oh, it's a fantastic pass. West Catholic will score in transition. Zion Stanford's pass there along the sideline was unbelievable.
And they kind of switched up their strategy there, LaSalle, that is having Horace Simmons bring up the ball, and didn't really work out. But
good look inside, Fleming. Not a good pass there as West Catholic will bring it back in transition again. That's Amir Walker, and they'll pull this one back. Stanford all the way to the hoop. He's met at the summit by Simmons Jr. The foul is the call.
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh my
goodness. Just don't know. You make the call at home, folks.
Wow.
Oh, man. That is a tough call there, I think.
That's a heck of an athletic play by Horace Simmons Jr.
So it looked like he had a hand around the basketball there, you know.
I like that, though. Athlete on athlete. My best on your best.
And I do think that's probably where that call comes from. There's just so much power and aggression there that it's like, you know, the referee didn't think he was making that call no matter what.
Yeah, a lot of contact regardless there.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the part as well where all these guys know each other. All these guys play AAU against one another, grew up playing together. And so the opportunity now to play in a school setting against one another, I am sure Simmons Jr. relished the opportunity to get up there and meet Stanford.
I think that's very true, Bob. You know, here in the Catholic League, you see a lot of players that know each other going at it on a weekly basis, and that's what makes it different. You know what I mean? It's truly a sense of camaraderie above everything.
The issue for LaSalle, though, is not defensively. It's been with turnovers on the last few possessions, creating these transition opportunities for West Catholic. They got it down to 5 a couple of times. Now it's a 9-point deficit, 1:45 to go first half. Screaming for a back cut, don't you think, Dan Green, at some point?
Yeah, I think so. I really think if you're standing still in this offense, then, you know, it's not going to work out. Really nice, confident move there by Casey Fleming. That's what has to happen. You have to be confident enough to take those few dribbles.
1:12 to go. Stanford, and that was Ryan Sorge, quick on the closeout. Inside they go, extra pass, Bud Clark for 3, it's good.
Clark with a hand in the face, unfazed there as he drains the 3.
Yeah, I thought here on this pass to the strong side or the weak side block, maybe go up there, but when you have that safety blanket that is Bud Clark, little nylon from deep, two possession game, or a double-digit lead, beg your pardon.
Yeah, that was quick, and that's what West Catholic can create with their defense. You know, you're down 5 if you're LaSalle, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game going into halftime.
You know this guy. This portion of today's game is brought to you by Next Play Basketball. Our buddy Ryan Ansell and his buddy Matt Paul do a great job with the AAU basketball organization that is Next Play Basketball. They do individual clinics and trainings. They do group sessions. And, of course, they have AAU basketball teams, boys and girls, from 4th grade through 12th grade. So if you're looking to get into the AAU circuit, you want to learn to be a better player, better teammate, check out Next Play Basketball. They have a robust online page, and RyanAnsellBasketball.com for more. And then E&M Insurance in North Wales, property casualty insurance for your business or for your home and auto. Chris Marr, class of 1989, and a good friend of ours here at Bob Long Sports, past president of the Alumni Board, runs the organization. Again, all you got to do is give him a couple pieces of paper, your existing policy. He can make sure that you have the right coverages set up, and if not, he and his very, very accessible staff can help you through the process. That's EANDMinsurance.com, or visit them on Facebook for contact information. 51 seconds left. Simmons for 2.
A contested basket, and that's a shot that Simmons takes a lot, and it's arguably one of his more consistent looks.
Final 36 seconds of regulation. LaSalle got the bucket they needed. It's an 8-point game. Feel Dan Green like they could really use a stop here for a little bit of momentum heading into halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are not out of this game at all. I think they played a really good second quarter here, and they're within striking distance for sure.
10 seconds left in the half. Stanford thought about the three. He turns, great look inside, and it's good. Final 2 seconds, Fleming. Shot will not count. It's 32-22. I'll be right back.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Bob Long will be getting an interview here down at the sideline, and we will go to Bob.
Coach Boak, how are we doing? We got the camera right up there. Thanks for joining us here. Quite a great start. Then LaSalle crawled their way back.
Right.
What's your takeaway from the first 16 minutes?
I mean, they're going to play basketball the right way. I think it's important that we play just as disciplined as they try to play. But it's just one possession at a time. They're going to try to milk the clock a little bit. They're going to play some zone to try to slow us down. We just got to know that's what's coming, and we got to combat it with what we talk about on a day-to-day basis coming into this game.
Zion Stanford stood out to us. What stood out to you?
He's just taking his time. I think he's a kid that's hard to deal with, whether he's inside in the paint, outside on the perimeter. When he's getting 2 feet in the paint, he's a problem. And he's just hard to deal with. He's taking his time. When he's not rushing, he's just a completely different player.
Thanks for doing this. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
That's Coach Boak up there. Thanks, and we'll send it back to you guys.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bob Long on the sideline. We will take this game to halftime.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest. Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
At Meineke, we care about your family. So this winter, let Meineke keep your car on the road, saving time and money. Take advantage of Meineke's complete auto repair services. Whether it's tires, brakes, exhaust, or tune-ups, at Meineke we do it all. And all services are backed by Meineke's nationwide guarantee. Whatever car repairs you need, come to Meineke, because at your locally owned and operated Meineke, we do car care right.
What does this win mean?
Been with the family for a long time. With our team chemistry, it was bound to happen.
Just close, baby!
Such a big win from Cross Country Mortgage. Dedicated to getting it done.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself.
This year, you're going to see all four guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football, or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
The coaches at LaSalle are great because they strive for you to be your best.
I was able to maximize my full potential in terms of opportunity in football, wrestling, and lacrosse.
They're going to be pushed to be the best they can be in the classroom, on the field, in the pool, and just overall as a person.
Student first, athlete second. Before you have success on the field, you have to have success in the classroom so you can be on the field.
One thing I think makes LaSalle Athletics stand out are the facilities that we have. One thing I think makes the athletic programs here so strong is definitely the coaching and the staff.
I think I've improved as a competitor here at LaSalle because I'm always being pushed by coaches and by my peers. Seeing my peers work hard makes me want to work harder as well.
No matter what your interests are, every single person here is going to make sure that you're able to fulfill your dreams and what you want to do.
What allows us to keep winning is just our really strong sense of tradition and pride. We know that 30 years before us they won the PCL, so we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best to succeed like the guys before us did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I say that LaSalle fuels my passion because it has such great programs with what I'm interested in.
LaSalle affords you the opportunity to get involved in as much as you possibly want to. There's
tons of different clubs and activities with any different interest you could have.
No matter what you're doing, you'll be supported by your peers, and LaSalle will become a place that you love to go to and you will want to go to every day.
I think it was pretty easy to make friends. I feel like the most friends I made came through my extracurriculars.
What I love about LaSalle is you could make relationships with other people by getting out of your comfort zone. That's what LaSalle really teaches us, to be open and be open to meeting new people.
You're always going to gain something from.
Welcome back, folks. It is halftime, and we're about ready to get going in the second half. West Catholic leads LaSalle 32-22. Bring you back inside our broadcast booth. He's Dan Green. I'm Bob Long. There's Danny Rovey on this side of me. And Danny Rovey, I know you have some statistics from the first half.
Of course, this is all courtesy of Brennan Olimpo, our guy in the down there doing
guy.
stats for us. Yeah,
He's
that's
the
our
best.
guy. So we have Adam Bud Clark with 7 points so far. We have Zion Stanford. He's been the main man with 15 points. Marcus M.J. Branker Jr. with 3 points. We have Shamar Wilbanks-Acquee with 2. Isaac Cole with 5. And then for the Explorers of LaSalle College High School, we have Liam Hawley with 2. Bart Chak with 6. Parisi with 2. Horace Simmons Jr. with 10 points. Fleming with 2 points. And Ryan Warren with 2 points.
Dan Green, one key for the second half here.
I think LaSalle shooters have to be ready to shoot. You know, if you hesitate with the ball against this defense, they're going to collapse, and you're going to end up with some skip pass that, you know, is probably going to get intercepted, or something poor is going to happen. The guards have to be confident with the ball and make these snap, quick decisions. I think that's going to be the key. Their defense looks pretty good, honestly.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Turning out of the floor, one key for me as well is they've been able to get inside, or at least into that 10-foot range with a couple of power dribbles or even a key pass now and again. And I think that the ability to hit those shots, they've been fairly efficient from that type of area to this point in the game. I think that's a key as well. But yes, it starts and ends with the turnovers as LaSalle gets into the half-court set. West Catholic in black and LaSalle in white. Simmons Jr. inside for Warren. Good catch and finish.
We've seen Warren with that move a lot this year so far.
That is a great first possession for LaSalle. Everyone touched the ball. They get a post entry. Great move down low.
And they get the chance to set up in that 3-2 zone. Clark, lob. Zion Stanford, it was halfway down.
Yeah, near highlight play there for the Burrs.
I love that play against the zone, too. I really do. You bring that back line up a little bit. You know, that's why Syracuse's zone was so good, because the length they had in the back of the zone prevented that type of play. But a lot of times you can run somebody baseline and have that look open.
Yeah, we may see that again before this game is up. But
you know, it almost happened last game, Bob. That Bonner game, we had number 21,
yeah,
the
Nelson
Friars.
Lamazana.
Yeah, Lamazana came across, almost threw one down.
Barchak, patience here. Good look for Casey Fleming. Back iron, no. And here comes Stanford the other way. Clark all the way to the 10. Great finish.
Yeah, the acceleration of a player like Bud Clark is really unmatched. Among the, the more fast players in the PCL.
And there's another transition opportunity, Dan Green, not from a turnover, but from a long rebound. It just shows the quality and class of this West Catholic team. Simmons, tough shot. That should stay here. I think that might have ticked the head of Stanford on the way out. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, just going back to that last possession where Bud Clark was able to get that, quick, fast break. You see a few guards. I saw James Barchak go in for an offensive rebound, and sometimes, on those long shots, long rebound type situations, it's good to just get back. And, it's a small mistake, but those things can add up.
Clark, no. Big time rebound, number 13, Shamar Wilbanks. Miguel Bocachica, head coach of West Catholic, has a team that he thinks can win I'll say not only a state title, but also a Catholic League title. And a lot of it has to do with that guy, Zion Stanford.
Yeah, I saw him in the corner that entire possession, just kind of waiting for his opportunity to pounce, and he was able to get an easy one there.
Casey Fleming. Nice job by MJ Branker there. That one thrown into the backcourt. But just a little earlier in that possession where you had the dribble drive by Fleming, Branker did not go with Fleming. He recognized he had help on the strong side block. Also recognized, just as important, Dan, is that there was a sharpshooter sitting in the corner.
Yeah, and that's the big key for playing a zone. You have to communicate, and you can't. It's very easy to forget about players that are kind of hanging out in the corner there. They're just a skip pass away.
There's an open three for Will Banks. No good. Long rebound on a hop to Bud Clark. Shifty. 14-point lead.
And that's 2 possessions in a row where they were able to get offensive rebounds and another chance at the bucket. And, you definitely cannot afford that when playing a zone.
Nick McKee has a seam. Simmons Jr. Nice job to stay down defensively by West Catholic. Barchak, yes. Good from the elbow.
Good confident move there. As you see, LaSalle was kind of struggling there a little bit, getting passes off, and he's able to make that confident first step right into a pull-up. So I think that's the second time he's done that today.
Just the first foul call of the entire second half, almost 4 minutes in. Nick McKee didn't like the call, but certainly a grab there, and candidly, Dan Green, not a bad foul with where Bud Clark was going.
No, absolutely.
And I thought maybe a hand check there as well. Bud Clark steps back, and Warren came down with it. Fleming, there's no numbers here. He's going to take it himself. Simmons, jump stop and finish.
Simmons off the jump stop is hard to guard right there. It's a player moving with a lot of force through that paint.
Ooh, it's a nice pass in the end result. I think Fleming was kind of lucky that Horace Simmons Jr. was there.
Yeah, but you know what? I like the aggression there.
Yeah.
He's attacking. I'll tell you one thing. If you're going to do the opposite of that and hold back, a lot of times you're not going to find success with this aggressive defense.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Back to a 10-point game. 3:45 to go. So LaSalle yet again has found a way to stay in this one after a big run by West Catholic. Nick McKee turns.
I need a timeout.
Held ball, alternate possession, will send it the other way. It's a West Catholic defense, full court pressure. Those off-ball defenders move with such purpose to the ball. Double hard, they know right when the time is to double, when the real clock is running or when the clock in the ball handler's head starts to move a little quicker as well.
Right. And these LaSalle guards just don't have the length to see over these guys, so it becomes incredibly hard when you start trying to make that pass across half court.
MJ Branker picks up the personal, 3:14 to play. Third quarter action here on Bob Long Sports.
See Liam Hawley just checking in. I meant to say something last half, but I really liked his energy as a sub in the second quarter especially. He wasn't afraid to attack on offense, and he played some lockdown defense.
Here is Hawley dribbling away from that double team. Barchak, Simmons Jr., and he traveled with it.
Adding on to that statement, Dan, I would agree. I think Hall is one of the most tenacious players in this LaSalle offense. He's able to move with the ball with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the size, but he was able to drive by a few guys last quarter and find some success kicking the ball out to shooters.
You see him right here on the inbound. He's all over these guys.
Yeah, it's good.
Clark runs off a double high ball screen. Stanford. Waters gave up the three in the corner. MJ Branker, good move. Thought there was a lot of contact, and then a late whistle comes. That's the right call there. Jennings, who just checked into the game for the first time, picks up the personal. Yeah, certainly brought the arms down. Branker's been a defensive key, I think, even on that last possession there when Barczak drove into the lane in transition. Branker, he didn't hedge there. He went to the outside where Horace Simmons was. Again, a little shift of the pivot foot there by Simmons Jr. resulted in the travel. Branker goes 1 of 2.
And that's the thing about West Catholic, you know, and as Bud Clark gets a steal here in a transition layup, you know, they can switch everything. They can really, they have a lot of fluidity with their defense because they're all athletic and really strong, fast.
Here's Hawley. Jennings trying to create position. Deep 3. Simmons Jr. is no good. Barczak got a hand on it. Casey
Nice
Fleming
pass.
steps into it. Branker pulls it down. And that's LaSalle basketball. Casey Fleming. Boy, Barczak on that side of the floor, as well as Tim Jennings, went after that board. Led to that open look. And a heck of a job by LaSalle to create yet another possession. It's Hayes Altamare. Altamare all the way. One more for Liam Hawley. Simmons with pace. And he follows his own blocked ball. 11-point game.
That's great. Still a lot of energy on defense from West Catholic, but, you know, LaSalle kept the ball moving, and they were able to get something out of it.
Good look to the corner. Waters for 3. That one's well short. 1:18 to go.
Good box and rebound there by Tim Jennings.
And another giveaway. Bud Clark stepped on the timeline. That is fortunate if you're LaSalle. Nice finish, by the way. Off camera, he forced it up to the rafters, and it ticked the top of the backboard and went in.
Looked like it might have been with the left hand, too. Maybe maybe my eyes were deceiving me there.
It's a mirage. 70 seconds left, though, Danny Rovey, and I think a critical 70 seconds for LaSalle to at least get a bucket and make a stop.
Of course, and you know, I think going into this fourth quarter, the single-digit lead means a lot here for the Explorers. You know, one thing in basketball is that 10-point threshold right there for a lead is very vulnerable, and a lot of times teams can find that slipping away, you know, with a couple chippy plays here that the LaSalle offense is capable of commanding.
Micah Waters picks up the first personal foul of his, just the second team foul here in the second half. And I laugh. We love our buddy Chris Carabello, who does the public address. As there's a foul called. That's going to go against Amir Walker. But Michael Waters, when he has the foul called against him, only in Philadelphia is he going to have his name pronounced about 3 different ways. Michael Waters, Michael Waters, you know.
That's Michael Waters.
I didn't see where you were going with that. That was a good one, Bob.
You just got to have some patience, Dan.
Yeah.
Simmons, tough shot. And Jennings couldn't bring it down. Perhaps forced just a touch by Simmons Jr. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Open 3, Branker. Let's see, Danny Rover, do they hold for the last shot? 31 seconds left.
And of course, time is on their side here. Just looking for the best shot, the best look.
Yeah. That's a challenge, Bob. 30 seconds against this defense. I can already kind of see they're wavering a little bit. Ooh.
Just pulled away from Hayes Altamare. Interesting. Looked like it might have been a held ball. Tough shot, no good. 7 seconds, plenty of time here for Hayes Altamare. Now he advances with pace. Hawley in open 3 would be a big one, and it won't go. That's the end of 3. 41-30 West Catholic. LaSalle outscored by just 1 in that quarter, 9-8. But we certainly were not lacking for action in that third frame.
Yeah, and I'll say, it feels like just from the eye test, if I wasn't looking at the scoreboard, you know, this is a 16, 17-point game, but LaSalle just playing pretty disciplined offensively. They were able to, you know, they're staying within striking distance, and maybe they can hit a few threes in the fourth quarter and claw a little bit closer.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Jim McLaughlin, Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors, our favorite realtors in the LaSalle community. Visit them on their website below. Make sure to jot down their email and phone number from the bottom of your screen here. If you are looking to buy or sell your home, maybe you're looking to add a second home up in the Pocono Mountains or down at the Jersey Shore, they can help you through that entire process. Even if you're 6, 9, 12 months away, now is the time to engage with folks like Jim and Carrie. If you're looking to buy your home, remember you don't pay anything. That all comes from the eventual fee when the seller sells the home. So no better time to get in touch with Jim and Carrie right before the spring season. Danny, a key here in the last 8 minutes of this contest.
Well, I think that one of the biggest keys for LaSalle, and Dan touched on this, is just to continue to fire shots. And you're going to need some urgency here. Obviously, this basketball game, it's an 8-minute quarter, and it's going to move quick. So you have to find these guys moving off the ball, creating some space around the key, and getting some luck, maybe. Have these shots fall.
LaSalle into this offensive set patiently and looking to create some space, move the ball from side to side, and create a look. But as you mentioned, we talked about the other night is, hey, how many possessions realistically do you have left in this contest? Can't give them away. And a held ball, it'll go back to West Catholic because remember, in between the third and fourth quarter, because LaSalle got possession, the arrow went back. So if it feels like West has gotten a few of these in a row, you're right. But Burrs basketball. Dan, we talked a little bit off air during halftime about this West Catholic team, and LaSalle's played primarily zone throughout the majority of the day. And we saw this West Catholic team, a few lost to graduation last year, but in the Palestra, taking on a team in Archbishop Ryan that runs that zone defense, did very well against West Catholic. And you're seeing a bit of a change of how they get after it against the zone today.
Yeah, absolutely. Even on that possession that we just witnessed, it's kind of the point that we want to make is that, they're not settling for these jumpers. Last year, we saw several threes just go up in succession, in successive consecutive possessions over and over again, even with, 1 or 2, 3 passes. You see now everyone is cutting towards the basket. When there's a driver, especially, when Bud Clark tries to penetrate, someone is always cutting to the basket, and that's how they're getting a lot of buckets today.
Stanford, there's a lot of contact there. And because the call came, I'll say, as late as it did, it allows the call to be made in the act of shooting, Dan. Take a look here. Ryan Warren, again, on the first or second dribble here, there's a grab right there.
Yeah.
And the call is just made, again, as he goes into the act. So fortunate, I think, for West Catholic. Here's Zion Stanford.
Stanford's been a familiar name in this one, Bob. I mean, he's just put on an absolute show in the Obie O'Brien court. Able to lead this Spurs offense throughout all 4 quarters so far. Tapping into the 20 range. I don't know the specifics. That would be Brendan's field.
Yeah, that's his domain, absolutely.
Without question, a great performance so far.
And efficient.
Yes.
Very efficient in the way he's put up his points. This is Hayes Altamara. He's guarded by Stanford. Barchak on the baseline. Har Simmons Jr. wants the basketball.
Had him for a split second there.
Skip pass for Hayes Altamare for 3. Good box out there inside. Allowed Walker to have uncontested access.
Yeah, not a bad possession there either. Horace Simmons kind of has that decoy, and they were able to find Hayes in the corner. Just wasn't able to knock it down. And honestly, they're just not hitting threes today, it seems, and that's kind of They really need that to change in the next couple of minutes if they're going to get back in this.
And let's not forget that near dime there from James Barczyk, the skip pass all across the floor.
Giveaway. Shamar Wilbanks couldn't get it over the front rim. And just kind of a hot potato pass there, Dan. Trying to get rid of it and get moving.
Yeah, and that's a really difficult play because, you know, you're trying to get the ball to your best player, but with kind of, you have to let the dust settle a little bit there before you just kind of throw it up and go on the fast break.
Shamar Wilbanks, heck of a player last year for this West Catholic team. Remains one of the key stalwarts. And got them both. 5:20 to play, fourth quarter. Largest lead for West Catholic in some time, potentially even of the entire game, but
I believe so. I believe this is the largest lead the Birds have had so far.
This is probably, I think, in my opinion, the biggest possession for LaSalle. Just because they really haven't been able to develop anything in the past few possessions, this is a really key possession.
Liam Hawley inside with purpose to the hoop.
Again, that's my guy. I love the way he's playing in this game. You know, he's played a few minutes. He hasn't played the whole game, obviously, not a starter, but the minutes he has, he's been pretty productive.
He's able to will himself to the basket a lot of the time.
Dan, I can kind of see why he might be your guy. You know, lefty point guard.
Lefty point guard, a
bit
little
diminutive,
undersized.
yeah. Plays with aggression. Unafraid to mix it up with the bigs, and
That's
LaSalle
right.
gets the ball right back. Again, still better than halfway to go here in the fourth quarter. 4:23 to play. And a three-pointer here for LaSalle, or any type of basket, it begins to shift the paradigm of this one.
Just handling that pressure.
Fleming thought about the three. That's good hands in there by Shamar Wilbanks. Ball never got to Hawley. Cole to the basket. That's a big-time finish. Holds the pivot foot in traffic, lets the flyby come. And over the left shoulder for two.
Yeah, that was a really difficult finish, but very impressive to have that patience to kind of gather his feet under him, make sure his pivot foot didn't move.
And that'll stay here with LaSalle. Hayes Altamari steps out of the game for now. Mick McKee checks back in. And Ryan Warren will check in here as well. Look at where Barczyk is standing to inbound this ball.
Yeah, it's way back.
Horace Simmons Jr. for three.
Nice shot, in rhythm there. Really impressive shot. I feel like that's something that he's improved upon this year, being able to kind of catch the ball on the move, sort of like a J.J. Redick, where he's a little off balance and able to still come up into his jump shot fairly straight.
I feel like that's a challenging shot, Danny, because, and again, at least for me, novice as I may be, you know, sort of coming off the left as a right-handed shooter I find is easier, but kind of coming right and launching with that strong shoulder. It's a heck of a play, but J.J. Redick did it as well as anybody, that exact type of move.
Of course, I mean, yeah, your whole body's shifting one way and you're trying to shoot the ball the other, so, you know, it takes a lot of composure to be able to fire that off and do it in a positive manner.
3:34 to play here in the fourth and final quarter of regulation. Danny, next up for us here in terms of LaSalle basketball is next Friday night. And I know there's a special event going on you can talk a bit about.
Of course, yeah. So the Silent Night is one of the best traditions we have here in all of LaSalle, not even just the basketball program. For those who are unfamiliar, every student shows up in a costume or crazy outfit, and the whole gym is silent until the 10th point is scored. And once that 10th point reaches the net, all pandemonium breaks loose, and the entire gym erupts, and the student section becomes alive.
Bud Clark might have hurt himself there. It's really just an unbelievable steal. They'd be well served to put it in their pocket. Well, I guess they don't need to. They took the easy two. Zion Stanford. Horace Simmons kept LaSalle in the game with an impressive block, pinning it against the backboard. But again, another active live ball turnover. Spells doom for LaSalle. Barczak a bit long from the mid-range. 2:34 to play. Shamar Wilbanks.
Really nice take, able to get the ball to his left hand. I think Bud Clark wanted to slow that offense down, but Shamar had other ideas, and he was able to get a nice bucket.
Simmons, no. Good clean out there. The box out by Bud Clark. 2:08 to play. Cole to the basket. Branker traveled with it. 2:02 to play. This portion of today's game brought to you by CJO Design and Construction. Chad Ormond does a great job with his landscaping business. If you want hardscaping or landscaping, or even want to put on in a pool or clear out some of that brush or trees in your backyard, you can beautify your home with CJO Design and Construction. At CJODesignandConstruction.com, you can find more. $1:55 to play. McKee to the basket, tough shot, and he is fouled. This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance in North Wales. Chris Marr does a wonderful job for business owners and homeowners alike. You can visit them at eandminsurance.com or visit their Facebook page for more information about how you can get better policies, better coverage, better service with E&M Insurance, LLC. A minute and 40 seconds left. Bud Clark to the basket. And he is fouled. He'll shoot 2 at the line.
And if you're LaSalle here, I really think, although the game is not completely over, I think it's really important to hold on to your discipline defensively and offensively in the next couple of possessions. Keep this game within reach, and you feel good going into the next game, although I don't know how you feel about moral victories. But
there's value in that. I'd agree with that. I think that, it's all about, taking something into the next game. And, one thing that these guys took in from the Monsignor Bonner game was the fact that defensive system is something that can benefit them in games where, the matchup is tough. So I think for many reasons it's about finding the little victories, too, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they have not given up more than 60 in Catholic League play. This is the third game that they've played. They gave up 60, 39. And now it's 54, late stages against one of the best offensive teams in the league. And candidly, a lot of those points were in transition.
Yeah.
Hawley halfway down.
So I think, if what we're saying right now, if you can narrow that down, that's some finite practice points here for this team.
All the way to the hoop. That's a fantastic block by Zion Stanford. Hayes out to Mare on the recoil. That one's no good. And pulled down, 46 seconds left. .32 seconds left here in this one. 54-38.
I know he got blocked there, but I really like that take by Nick Parisi. He just checked into the game, but he wasn't afraid. He went right up there, challenged the defender, and gave it his best shot. just so happened that there was someone that was very athletic on the defense there.
And now more of the reserves, an opportunity to play varsity minutes. Luke Hudak and Tim Smith. Danny Rovey's going to head down after the game, so make sure you don't go anywhere as he will look to grab, maybe see if he can grab a couple of players
Sure, yeah.
from West Catholic. Talk about the victory here today.
Yeah,
Bud
great.
Clark was excellent.
He was, and as number 2, Zion Stanford.
Final seconds of this one. And West Catholic comes up with the W. They avenge a loss from earlier this weekend to Newman Goretti. Moved to 2-1 on the year. LaSalle 0-3 in Catholic League play, but Dan Green, I thought they really played with purpose today and hung in against a really difficult opponent today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were plenty of times during this game where West Catholic could have broken it wide open, and LaSalle was able to be, I think, very disciplined today on offense, even with the length and the athleticism of West Catholic and all of their guards, you know, putting pressure on them the entire game.
And Danny is down there. It's always fun / difficult to try to nab some of these guys. And let me send it down to Danny now. Danny, go ahead.
Get him on the broadcast as well. Just a live stream up there. Camera's up there.
There you go. Go ahead, Danny.
Bob, I'm here with Bud Clark, Zion Stanford, 2 standout players from today's game. Obviously, it was a heartbreaking loss against Newman Goretti. What fueled you coming into this gym today?
We just wanted to bounce back from a tough loss the other night, so we just wanted to bounce back and kill whoever our next opponent was.
I mean, looking forward, obviously you have some good games on the horizon. You know, are you going to keep that same mentality going into those next games?
Yeah, we want to bounce back from our first part of the season. We started off slow, so like we all made a decision to like turn it up on the PCL play. So yeah, like any other team, like we come with a different energy.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you to Zion Stanford, Bud Clark, and most importantly, our buddy Danny Rovey, who did a great job down there with the interview. And before we get out of here, I want to tell you one more time about our friends at Next Play Basketball, run by Ryan Ansel and Matt Paul. They do an excellent job with 4th through 12th grade AAU basketball teams, boys and girls. And, of course, Coach Ansel, assistant coach here at LaSalle, watching from overseas right now. We've had opportunities to catch up, and he said, Bob, you got to get away from these 1 a.m. tip-offs. So that is not my problem, Ryan. But, no, he does an excellent job with kids and student athletes of all ages, making them better basketball players, better teammates, preparing them for college basketball and high school basketball, and, of course, for life as well. So if you're looking to get better at basketball, join a team and a family, visit them at Next Play Basketball on Facebook. More information on RyanAnselBasketball.com as well. Well, Dan, one last takeaway from you before we bid everybody adieu.
West Catholic is not a team you want to run into later as this season goes on. They seem like they get stronger throughout the game. They don't get tired. They come with a lot of energy and heat on defense, and honestly, I was getting tired up here just watching them. Every time someone, met one of LaSalle's guards at three-quarters court, it's like again,
Yep.
So that's one thing that I'm taking away from this game.
Dan Green, great to have you back, my friend.
Absolutely good to be back, Bob.
Danny Rovey, great job as always, my man. Camera, play-by-play, and courtside interview. You do it all.
Okay, thank you enough, Bob.
We'll be back for Friday night. That is silent night here at LaSalle. Thrilled to be alongside for that one. I know, Danny, we have some ideas for how to make that a fun and unique broadcast. So tune in if you can't make it here on Friday night. For Danny Rovey, Dan Green, Bob Long saying so long from LaSalle High School. The train rolls on for West Catholic, and LaSalle, searching for that first Catholic League win, returns home to take on Conwell Egan Friday night at 7.